Welcome to episode 7 of the Meet the Peeps podcast. We are here with Tesa today, and I'm going to let you introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, what you've been doing, and we're going to talk about that.
Okay. So I'm Tesa. I'm from Zagreb. I'm 25, and I'm an RIT student. I'm studying the IB program, but I'm also minoring in IT. I don't know, my biggest passion, I would say, is water sports.
Okay.
I like jet skiing. I'm an instructor in the free time. That's mostly it, I think.
All right. We keep bringing people who are more successful than me. What's with that?
It's a trend. It's a trend.
I have a feeling that it's intentional at this point.
It's
Maybe.
motivation, I would say.
You call it motivation, I call it we need a fool. All right, so did you start off at RIT? Did you transfer to RIT?
I actually transferred. I was studying mathematics
Okay.
for 4 years, and then I made a decision to transfer to RIT Croatia.
Is there any specific reason you'd like to share that you decided to transfer?
Yeah, I can share. I wasn't really happy with the way the mathematics university was structured. I think RIT has a much better organization and structure. You have a lot of contacts, a lot of people you can turn to, you can talk to them. In my experience, they were always very polite and very, nice and kind, and everyone wants to help you. But I had a different experience at the previous university.
Okay.
So I would say that would be the main reason. And also, I heard there is an international business program. It's in English, so that was kind of a big, yeah.
That was sort of, I graduated IT at RIT, or web and mobile computing, because it took too long. But definitely the fact that it's international and the American diploma sort of sweetens the deal.
That's for sure, yeah.
So what part of mathematics did you study or want to study in the future, or were thinking about studying?
Well, there were like two programs. One was for to become a professor in mathematics, and the other one was called engineering.
Okay.
So I didn't really want to be a professor, so I started with engineering program, which turned out to be a difficult one, but I didn't know that at the beginning. But I think I got a really good theoretical knowledge in some courses, and I actually use a lot of those things. I think calculus and geometry would be, I think, something that I use like in most situations so far.
Yeah, that's pretty much the stuff I use the most, I think.
Yeah.
Because I used to do R&D in robotics, and it was a lot of Bezier curves and de Castellao algorithms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Turned out to be a lot more fun than math in high school and college.
That is true, that's for sure. I didn't actually know where will I use all the things I was studying in elementary and high school, but then at university I kind of got a better idea of what you can do with mathematics.
So what's the switch been like from sort of like a scientific major to a business major?
Well, I think the biggest change was that mathematics was very theoretical, and there were almost no practical work. And here at RIT, we always have some kind of projects. We hang out with people. We are always in some kind of teams. I think I had some kind of group work in every course so far, which I really like, because you're meeting people around you. You're not isolated and just being in the middle of a crowd, but you're actually connected with people. So I think that was the biggest change, and probably some kind of there's a whole story. It's a rounded story. At the end, you have some kind of presentation, so you show all your work. It's not just work being done and that's it. You have something out of it at the end.
There's a purpose.
Yes.
Rather than just studying for the sake of studying. Yeah, I get that. That's why I started at RIT. I considered psychology and then FER, but then I ended up, it's weird, I know. So I ended up minoring in psychology.
Okay.
But RIT sort of, just because of the American diploma sort of made sense, I guess. So is there a specific class that you enjoyed or looking forward to, seeing as you're almost done, hopefully?
Well, yeah, hopefully. I would say human resources management with Professor Vidovic. I really liked it, I really enjoyed it, and I really see the purpose of it. We had the project during the whole semester. I had a great team, and we were kind of analyzing the whole process of employing someone. So we were, let's say, looking for a specific person who has a specific degree. Then we were writing like a job ad and the channels where you can post it and things like that. And at the end, we had a presentation about it. So I really liked that whole process. And the other one would be Careers in Business with Professor Schmidt, because it really taught me how to present myself at the interviews and how to structure my CV and to point out what's important. So that was really useful, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that you point out, I know most of the professors, but I've never had classes with them. But everyone, it's sort of a consensus, and I think Max should probably know as well that generally Maya and Schmidt are like the favorite professors as far as business goes. Some of the favorite. Is there?
I think Maya is a pretty good one. I'd say for sure. Yeah.
I mean, Maya taught. I don't know. Does she still teach OB?
OB, yeah.
Yeah,
she does.
Yeah.
I have her class currently. Yeah.
And that was awesome. But so yeah, obviously you have some good courses. Was there a course that you found too difficult? Well, too difficult's the wrong word, but a course that
challenging, let's say.
Challenging. I like that. We're being politically correct. Challenging. Okay.
I think IT courses are pretty challenging, and that's what I actually like about it. I think programming in Java would be, I think, kind of challenging so far.
The start's always the worst. And then sort of it gets easier the more you do it. By the time you get to masters, the programming part's easy. Figuring out how to transfer what you need to into programming is the hard part.
Yeah.
Sort of like stuff like mathematical concepts and how algorithms are supposed to function when you don't have just a piece of paper where you need to solve the algorithm.
That is true, yeah.
But yeah, I guess. Dude, philosophy courses sucked. I sucked at those so bad.
I had philosophy as well here. It was in my first semester.
Okay.
But I was kind of lost the first semester. I didn't know exactly. I didn't have any core business course, and I still didn't take IT minor. It was just an idea in the first semester. So I remember philosophy. And it was completely different from everything else that I had here. It was one specific course. Everything else was kind of related to something, and this was completely specific.
It's out there. So I've been seeing all over Instagram, it keeps popping up that you have a jet ski club. Actually, I knew that the jet ski club existed, but I didn't know who or what was behind it. Now I do, obviously. So what's up with that? How do we get the idea to start a jet ski club in Zagreb?
Okay, well, it's kind of specific situation because I actually grew up with that, and my dad was a jet ski pilot. He was a racer for 20 years. And
that's a cool job. What does your dad do? He races jet skis.
I couldn't explain it in elementary school. It was always very weird, but yeah, that's his passion. That's what he likes. And I was actually going with him on races, and I was helping him and everything. So I met the whole community and the other racers and their kids and families, and it became my passion as well. So I realized that there's a lot of people at RIT who would like to try, but especially if they're exchange students, they of course don't have the jet ski here in Zagreb, which if they do that would be kind of weird. So I asked them if they want to try. They said, sure, why not? So I started the club. It was just, I had no idea how big it can become, but there was a lot of people who thought it was a joke, and they actually expected a guy to be the president of the club.
Yeah.
I understand completely. I mean, that's.
I initially got that feeling, but then I remembered that like half the stuff at RIT just gets flipped pretty often. But the more I think about it, like there's really no reason why it should be a guy, honestly. It's just some weird assumption people make, myself included. I don't know why though.
Well, honestly, usually we have a water sports center. During the summer it's on the coast. And there was always a bunch of guys working there. And I decided to try to hire girls. And the last summer, at the end of the summer, I had only three girls, 3 employees, and me, so we had no guys there. And it was actually a completely different, vibe and atmosphere. No one was, complaining, or no one was uncomfortable if if the girl takes you on a tour or something. I mean, if you know how to handle the jet ski, the unit, and if you know how to, ride it and like properly, not just, go crazy, then it doesn't matter how strong you are or anything.
Yeah,
so that's,
I can imagine.
Yeah.
So, do you know how many people are in the club right now? Do you have like a correct number or an
Yes.
estimate? How many people?
54 at this moment.
Jesus.
It's been exactly a
Jesus.
year, and there's 54 people.
So I guess the jet ski club's doing good.
They're doing great.
So what do you do? Like, what do people in the club do? Do you like host events where you go to the coast, or where do you ride jet skis?
Yeah, the coast in
coast.
Rijeka at the moment.
Gotcha.
Well, at the beginning, I had the first club meeting. So before the meeting, I had the Zagreb Jet Ski Association gave us their facilities and the units and everything. So I had an idea where we were going to to practice and everything. We had the track and everything on Jarun Lake. But I made the first meeting just to introduce people, because first of all, they thought it was a joke. They thought we're going to sit and just talk about the jet skis, and I don't know. I have no idea. So I explained them, we have the equipment, we have the units, we have the fuel, thanks to RIT and their huge support. We have everything we need. We just have to, meet at the lake and, practice. There was a lot of people who were afraid of even, sit on the jet ski by themselves because they thought it's going to flip, or I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a fish, and things like that. And I explained them like fish cannot, swallow you or something. So there was, let's say, the basic level where we explained them how it works. And then later on we continued practicing. And now we're actually organizing a race in Rijeka. And we have RIT students who are going to compete.
That is a lot cooler than the clubs I had back in my day. Like,
You could have started a cooler one.
Could I have though? I mean, I got esports.
You got esports, that's true.
Yeah, the jet skis are cooler though. I'm not gonna lie. Jet skis are still cooler.
Yeah, and you actually have to leave your house.
No, see, that's the
That's the
where
thing,
you
yeah.
lose me. That's where you lose me. Going out, sun, fun, no.
People around?
People?
No.
Gee, God, no. That doesn't work for me. Thanks. So, back to the boring part of student life. I guess it's boring. I don't know. How have the co-ops been like?
I really liked it. I really enjoyed it.
What'd you do for co-ops?
I was in an IT company in PhotoMath. I still work there. I
Okay.
really like it. It's perfect combination for me, honestly, because it has a lot of mathematics, because it's based on mathematics. It has an IT part in it, and it also has a business because you have directly users who are using that app. So it was a perfect mix of all the things that I actually studied so far, and I like it.
It just works.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's literally made for you.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
awesome.
still there, so.
So what did you do there?
I was in a quality management department.
Okay.
For 2.5 years almost. I stayed after the co-op there. I was mostly controlling the quality of the tasks that were already in the base. And I had the different roles there. So mostly it was the quality control of the tasks that users are seeing on their
gotcha.
phones. Yeah,
That's awesome.
it was really cool.
That's something I wanted to do. Then I remembered I barely passed math.
Yeah, I think you should know math for that.
God damn it.
The name says it, so I don't know, I
Right?
guess.
So I guess sort of the IT minor came about from you wanting to apply the math to something other than just like finance.
Yeah, definitely.
So did you go finance, or what's the other one? Marketing or management? What's the other one?
Both marketing and management.
Yeah.
So
There's three.
Is there?
Yeah.
When we lost one of our focuses and you have three, I'm not okay with that. I mean, no one ever did databases anyway. There was like 3 people
That's why you have masters now.
for now. I mean, I don't have it anymore. I'm done. Well, I still have to defend my thesis.
Don't jinx yourself.
Look, the hard part's done. This is the fun part.
Said no one ever.
Look, look, it's fun. If it works, it's fun. The algorithm's wrong and has been for the last 6 months, but it's fun, okay? She hit a nerve. I'm sorry. So do you have any plans for like after graduation?
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing the master's degree. I would really, really love to do that, just to wrap the whole story up, like at the end.
Do you know what masters or
No.
where or what field?
Well, all of my fields, I would like to, continue with something that has a business component and IT component. And if there is something that would direct me into, math direction, that would be perfect. But something that combines business and IT.
Okay, so data science.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That would be
So my master. Gotcha. All right, that makes sense. I gotta say, I never thought I'd be the person to ever enroll into a master's program just because not really the academic type,
no.
clearly.
Okay.
Clearly.
Okay.
But I ended up really enjoying my master's. It was all of the courses were actually, like all of them were completely useful, both in work and just in general. And it's cool when you get to write a paper on something you want to write about, other than just.
I think if you pick it, like, if you really, think about it and pick something that you really like, then it's not like a torture. It's more like,
See, you'd
Kind
think
of.
that. You'd think that. Depends what you decide on.
that is.
I did something that is nothing but torture because
Oh.
it just takes a long time because it's computer vision systems and machine learning and training systems, and it just takes a while, and you waste a week just to realize that you did everything wrong.
Yeah, I've been there. I know.
It's cool, but it goes to your head, man, I swear. So, have you done any of RIT's famous events like the barbecue? Did we have a barbecue this year?
We did.
We're gonna have
been a
another
while.
one soon.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been on the pub quizzes a couple of times, but when I joined, I was looking forward to barbecue event, but the corona hit, and then
Yeah.
we unfortunately didn't have that year. We didn't have it. So far I've never been on the barbecue on RIT, but I've been on a pub quiz, and I really liked
Barbecues are
it.
cool. Those were really cool.
Yeah, but pub quiz is better.
I haven't been. I've left it all to you. I did my due diligence for the SG here. Thank you. I'm done. Ooh, are you ready for a typical interview question?
I guess, yeah.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years? Everyone hates that question. I hate it the most. That's why I love asking people that question.
I don't know. I hope I'll be close to my family. My family lives all over the world right now, so I hope we'll kind of manage to get together more times a year, not just once or twice. I would like to, of course, stay in the jet ski community. That's something I really like. And I would like to live closer to the sea, honestly. That's
Yeah,
Kind of
sure.
on a bucket list, but-
I can agree with that one.
that would be easier for the club and everything. So.
Yeah, just for the club though,
Just
not
for
for
the
me.
club.
It's just for convenience's sake. I don't really like the sea at all.
Yeah.
It's just more convenient, you know? Who likes the sea, right?
Boring.
So, do you have any plans of sort of keeping the jet ski thing more of a hobby, or are you considering sort of shifting that into more of a career option or possibility?
Well, right now we opened a water sports center in Rijeka. So during the summer it is actually business. So it's something that, where we kind of earn money. So I think I can say we already turned it kind of into a business. But I would really like to continue with that. But I'm aware it just, during the summer because of Croatia has,
Weather
Yes.
and seasons
So-
and stupid stuff like that.
Yeah. So, but I would still like to, to kind of combine that work and maybe something else during the year. But I definitely wouldn't, like to just let it go.
Yeah. That is, I still can't wrap my head around the fact that we have a jet ski club in Zagreb. So the association you mentioned, they have what they do, practice on your own, I guess, because where else would you?
Yeah, I mean, you can try on Bundek, but
Yeah.
I think Jarun is kind of like.
No, it's always weird to me because I used to train free diving, right? And everyone asks us, so what do you do? Where do you dive? In a pool.
Yeah.
In Utrine, in a pool.
I mean,
you just go straight instead of down.
yeah.
It's not as cool as having a jet ski on your own still. But how do people work? Like after their initial scare or not scare on a jet ski, how quickly does it take people to get adjusted to it?
Well, we had one girl. She said she's never been on a jet ski. She was an exchange student, and she was really scared. There was a lot of guys who already done a couple of trainings and they knew how to ride and everything, how to park. And she was so scared. She said she was going to go last. And she said when she sat on a jet ski, she said she cannot do it. So I sat behind her and we made the one lap together. And I explained her like, you control it, so nothing can happen unless you press the acceleration or something. So you cannot just flip over for no good reason. That's
that
that's
takes
kind
effort.
of physics. So she managed to do it. She even parked the jet ski at the end. We practiced a couple of times, and she just got rid of the fear. So that's kind of step one in this club. You have to, if you're afraid and if you're, you have an anxiety or something, and if you're scared of water, everyone has the equipment, the floating device, and you have the radio station on you the whole time. So you talk with me the whole time. So there's nothing that can happen, to you for no reason. So I think getting rid of the fear is the first step, and then after that, when I see that the person is, comfortable, then I explain them, I teach them the different techniques of driving, like how to go in the left curve, in the right curve, when you have to stand up, when you have to sit down, things like that. And then it's just, fine tuning, nothing more than that.
So how long does it take a person to sort of get to that fine tuning part?
Well, let's say maybe 10, 15 trainings, but a very,
I
focused.
thought it would take a lot longer than that, honestly. I don't know why. I just feel like driving jet skis is a lot harder than people make it look.
It's really not that difficult. It's really not.
I don't believe you. I know myself. I don't believe you at all.
You should check it out.
I might.
Yeah, you should.
I might just do that. All right, we're gonna move into our either or questions, which are so graciously provided by our producer over there. Our couch has been awfully quiet today.
For now.
Couch quiet.
You're doing a great job.
I need input here. You're being too quiet. This isn't a two-man show. Come on. All right, either or. Ambition or comfort, without spilling water everywhere. Hopefully.
Ambition.
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 Why?
That's a tough one. I don't know, when I think about it, just started at some point when I think about something that I've done in the past, and at the beginning I thought it's going to be very difficult or impossible to get it started. And now, after a long time, when I look back and see that it actually works, Jet Ski Club is one of the examples. That kind of pushes me to try something new, to take new projects, new experiences, and things like that.
Yeah, no, I prefer comfort.
We can see that.
Right? Is it that obvious? All right, so this one's kind of a gimme just because you said you've never been to a barbecue event, but a pub quiz or the barbecue event?
Pub quiz. And I have to say, my brother Tino, he's taking me to all different, all kinds of pub quizzes.
All right.
Yeah. And
a fellow enjoyer, I appreciate that.
He visited also the RIT pub quiz because he's enthusiast, and he really liked it. There's a lot of people. Yeah.
All right, so you've stepped your game up obviously, because the last time I attended they were too easy.
Nah. It was really
That was
good.
well before your time though.
Yeah, that was your time.
That was slightly after my time. I think.
No. So you mean your generation was organizing it bad?
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, it was.
It was.
I almost said a bad word there, but I didn't. I'm still holding the streak. Skydiving or bungee jumping?
Skydiving, it's for sure.
I this is gonna sound really stupid. I feel like skydiving is safer.
I was about to say that, you know, when you watch the videos on YouTube and Instagram, when you're watching the skydiving, there's always, you know, chill music in the background, you know, everything is nice, you're like floating, and bungee jumping is just, you know, dramatic and stressful and like...
Yeah, I just feel like I'd have the luck where the bungee cord would wrap around my neck somehow.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, because why not? Yeah, but no, definitely skydiving just, it's cooler. Making plans or winging it?
Making plans.
Say it.
I try to make plans. I do. It never works. So I have to wing it. But so far we've agreed on skydiving, and that's about it. Money or free time?
Money.
Free time. All right. Calculus or statistics?
Calculus.
I'm on the fence there. Calculus is more fun, but statistics in my field is more useful.
How is calculus more fun?
It is. It just
Yeah, I
is.
would agree. I don't know.
Both terrible options, honestly.
No, they're not.
Go do your marketing.
He needs numbers for marketing as well.
Yeah, true.
Does he though?
Yes, he does.
He has to recognize numbers.
But I think you need statistics more, maybe for marketing, I would say.
He does.
At least we use it more.
Yeah,
than
no, definitely.
Calculus, but
I mean, it's the same for any sort of data science, more or less. It's just fancy statistics.
yeah, that's
generally.
true. Yeah.
That's all of the planned either-or questions.
But as you heard, Tony likes to wing it, so he's gonna improvise now.
Obviously. I have a really weird question though. So when you're writing out an equation,
Okay.
do you always use x as the unknown number or something else?
I use something else.
Thank you. Thank you. I thought I was the only person who ever does that.
No, usually use M.
See?
It goes M, N, T, S. I don't know why.
Yeah, I do that too until you get to college or somewhere and they're like, no, you're supposed to use X. Why?
Just you have a whole bunch of letters, so you can use any sign you know how to read or recognize again when you write it. So
Yeah. See? You found the question weird.
I could tell you were saving that one for a long time.
Right? You don't get to talk to people about math that often.
Yeah.
I think it's just like a fear behind that whole thing. Like if you're using, everyone knows that X is like the unknown, and then if you put some other letter, it might mean something like letter E or
Yeah.
something else.
People assume it's some weird constant or
you're
something.
gonna mess everything up if you use something else, not just X.
Would you ever consider going back to the Faculty of Mathematics to finish it?
Well, in Zagreb, no, not for sure. But somewhere else, yeah. I think maybe in those 10 years question, maybe somewhere. But I don't know, I'll see. I did have math courses here as well, so...
Those must have been tough.
Yeah.
I failed mine twice. I failed calculus twice.
I'm about to fail calculus twice.
Good thing you're on the podcast right now instead of studying.
Yeah.
And you know it's weird when I have to say that.
That's really, really weird.
It is. But in my defense, I passed discrete math with a B.
Good.
Wow.
Just because that made sense. I mean, calculus makes sense too, but you know.
But you have like real life examples in discrete, more of them, I'd say.
Yeah, because it's logical.
It is,
That's-
I know.
I mean,
It makes sense.
calculus, and I've never had any issues with any of the formulas. It's just that writing numbers, I tend to mix up numbers while I'm writing them. So
But that's irrelevant in maths, right?
sometimes. What is the best piece of advice you've received so far, or ever, or however you want to say that?
Well, the one that kind of, I always go back to that one, and I got it from my parents, is never burn the bridge. Like never, cut someone out of your life completely, because you never know what's on the other side and what might be going on with that person. And if someone, sometimes even disappoints you or does something you didn't expect in some bad way, you shouldn't just, cut that person off. Maybe there's something else going on. So I think that advice kind of gave me a lot in life.
Your advice is a lot deeper than the advice I follow. Petra already knows that she's probably sick of it. Nothing can be done. But yeah, that is genuinely very good advice. So what's sort of your motivation to work as hard as you do? Because from everything I've heard so far, you work pretty damn hard.
Yeah, I would say. I don't know. I think, as I said, the things that I thought would be very difficult, but I managed to do them. I think when I look back and see some of those things, that kind of pushes me, to start something new. I think, I don't know, for example, the club, that was a pretty good idea and it works. But that was at the beginning, it seemed like a very hard thing, to do and to start. But I got a great support from RIT, so that kind of, pushed the things forward. Also, IT minor, that seemed pretty difficult. At that point, I don't think anyone had it here in Zagreb. Like
I think you were the first.
Minor.
Either the first or one of the first.
I think I was the first because there was no, feedback about how it works.
Yeah.
So I remember I gave the feedback for that couple of courses. So I think when you do something you thought would be very difficult and you manage to do it, that kind of pushes you to start something new again.
What happens if you fail, though?
Well,
do you just quit and give up?
Well,
'Cause
I mean,
that's what I do.
I kind of fail sometimes. Yeah, you learn from it.
Do what? Learn?
Learn from it.
No. I rejected and run away.
I don't know. I think I always sit with my friends and I, discuss that whole story, and then we just see what I did wrong, or,
All right, so you analyze.
Definitely.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that kind of, reduces the stress and,
That's
the grief or
productive, yeah.
whatever.
It's more productive than my solutions.
And what do you think from an IB perspective? What is IT? Like the difficulties which an IB has in IT?
Well, I think, first of all, IB students like to communicate more, I would say. They're more extroverts, I think.
I don't know what you mean.
That's from my experience. So I think the biggest difference is that in IB, you have to, do the networking part, which is not that, we're not that focused on IT in that field, let's say. I think that's the main difference. Yeah, the communication and networking with people.
I still don't know what you're talking about. We communicate.
Sure you do.
Like in
Sure.
person. You have to communicate in person.
Look, all I know is that an IT student has a podcast.
That is true.
Fair enough.
I'm just gonna, sort of like put that one on the table there, let it sit next to Mini Richie. What would you say is sort of the biggest accomplishment you've had so far?
Well, I think when I transferred here, I put kind of a lot on my plate with the, with an IT minor, with the starting a club, working at the same time and everything. I think that especially there was a Corona time. So in that whole situation, I kind of managed to get on the Dean's list and stay there. And I'm still there. So I think that would be kind of...
Are we gonna have an episode where someone dumber than you shows up?
Nope.
So what's the Dean's List dinner like? I heard it's nice.
Unfortunately, I haven't been on a dinner yet because of Corona.
Right. I
But
keep forgetting that was a factor.
yeah, a pretty big one. But I'm looking forward to the next dinner. It should be in person, so
Apparently you should. I don't know. I only heard rumors.
yeah.
I've never been, ever.
Yeah, I think both Mislav and myself will agree that it's great.
Actually, I've
Yeah.
gotten close one semester. What?
Close doesn't cut it.
Close to Lido or
I've been to Lido twice now.
He was looking at us and waving.
From outside the window. Like, let me in. Is there a song that you have that would sum you up? No?
No. I have literally no song. If someone else has a suggestion for me,
Does
I'm
someone
gonna
have a
take.
I'm always waiting for an RIT student or alum to say "Eye of the Tiger."
Could
I want to hear yours.
yeah,
My
what-
song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like two.
Yeah.
One of them is by a very, very old punk band called Chaos UK.
I'll look into
Okay.
I'm an alcoholic.
it. Yo, we need to cut this.
No, I'm kidding. Honestly, I don't know.
Something
haven't
by
thought
Katy
about
Perry, maybe?
What?
Katy Perry, no?
Maybe.
Maybe? Like
Maybe.
Roar?
Not Roar.
No?
No. What's the song called? California Girls?
Oh, I love that. Dude, that's my favorite song. I'm not even joking.
I could rock Daisy Dukes. You don't know.
That's right.
Learning so much about both of you.
What is last question? Then we're done. Then we can.
Okay.
We can either end it or we can talk about Daisy Dukes or whatever. I don't know. What is one thing you never want to or never will do again?
I was just talking to my friend about it. It was. It's gonna be kind of an advice to all the people who do that, but you know when you're sitting in the passenger seat in a car and you have a dashboard and it's sun and it's nice and summer and you put your feet on the board. Well, don't do that. I learned the hard way. Just don't.
I
do
can
that.
sort of imagine that being pretty rough.
Yeah. I saw the commercial a year after I had an accident about, don't put your feet on the dashboard, but that was kind of too late. So I don't know where that billboard was.
Gotcha. So what, you get folded?
I kind of, I had a car accident and then I just shouldn't put my feet there. That's,
Gotcha. All right. Sound advice.
yeah.
And with that, I think we're done. Unless you have anything else you'd like to talk about. Do you have any social media you'd like to plug?
Well, I think since we talked about the club, we are also on Instagram. So whoever wants to join the club, there's, all the steps how to join are written there. It's really simple. So I would say you can find us there, I guess.
Why are you throwing things? Don't throw
It
things.
says,
Throwing merch.
Oh, all right. Get
Jet
the
ski
merch here.
merch.
You don't have to throw it. Just don't knock the camera over.
you can take that one and you can put your stuff inside for the first training and you have to show up now. So
Okay.
right.
I like
That's
the
a deal.
emotional blackmail. Putting the door technique and stuff like that.
No.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. With that, I think we're done for this episode. So peace out, everyone. I'll see you next time.